Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Nakita. I'm so happy that so many of you have come out to listen to our story. I pray that none of you have gone through what we have gone through, but just know that if you have, we are here for you. And on the same note, thank you for allowing us to stand on this platform to tell our story, because this is not an easy road at all. I remember the day that my mama went to the hospital to have my baby brother. My dad was so nervous because he had to take my mama to the hospital. And on the way to the hospital, they took me to Pastor Davidson's house. I really loved my pastor. He taught me the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You see, Pastor Davidson, he had 3 sons, and I was the only little girl, and I felt special. He would tell me how pretty I was, and my mama, she used to put my hair in these little bows. I always had curly hair, and Pastor Davidson, he liked to play in my hair. He used to blow on my tummy, and it would tickle at first. He always told me I was pretty. He called me Rita. He said, "Rita, you're a pretty little girl. Pastor think you so pretty." Pastor used to give me these little Hershey's Kisses. I was 7 years old. What 7-year-old doesn't like little Hershey's Kisses? But this makes me think about another memory. This memory is going to be engraved in my heart forever. The night that my mama gave birth to my little brother, my daddy was working out of town, so they had to take me back to Pastor Davidson's house. Pastor Davidson, he wanted to play these little games, and Pastor Davidson always liked to play these games. But this night it was different. Pastor Davidson, he was crawling after us on the floor, and I tried to get away, and he caught up to me. He held on to me real tight. He stuck his finger inside me, and I knew it was wrong. My mama told me never let nobody touch me there. It was my pancake. That's what I called it. It was my private place, and I was in so much pain, and I knew it was wrong. Pastor Davidson, he put his dirty little hands over my mouth, and he told me that God was gonna punish my parents if I told them. Remember, I was only 7 years old at the time, and I didn't want God to punish my parents. My mama used to read the Bible to me, and I know what God could do when God wasn't pleased. And this makes me think about another memory. my mama was in the hospital again. My mama was always sick, so she had to go to the hospital, and again, my dad had to work out of town. And I got sick at school, so my mama had to call Pastor Davidson to pick me up at school. I didn't want to go with Pastor Davidson because I knew what was going to happen to me. So I was sitting in the nurse's office, and I was looking at the nurse, and I wondered if she could see the pain in my face. I wondered if she knew what was going to happen to me, if things would have been different, if she would have stopped me from going with Pastor Davis. The ride to the house it was quiet, because I knew what was going to happen to me. Because Pastor Davidson, he did bad things. When we got to the house, I stayed in the living room for a little while. And then Pastor Davidson went into the kitchen, and
Hey, Rita. You're so pretty, Rita. Ooh, I love your curly hair, Rita. You know, Pastor love your hair. Rita, you smell so pretty. Pastor gonna go in the room now, but don't keep me waiting, okay?
He told me, and it started just like every other time. Rita, you're so pretty. You're a pretty little girl. He asked me if I wanted a cookie. And Pastor Davidson, he put me on the counter. He parted my legs. And he put a spoon inside of my pancake, my private place. I was in so much pain, and I wanted my mom. I just wanted him to stop. He slapped my face hard, and he told me that I better not tell my mama or my daddy. And I told him I wasn't going to tell my mama and my daddy. Because of him, memories still chase me in my sleep. Because of him, I go through the pain of the memories. So to get through that pain, I wrote a poem to him. Dear Pastor Davidson, because of you, I struggle to fall asleep trying to escape those nightmares that you created. I was only 7 years old when you ruined my innocence with that one touch. That one touch still in my head left me devastated. I hated the times that my mama would go back into the hospital when she was pregnant with my brother, because once again, I would have to stay with you, the pastor that my mama trusted. But that smile that everyone loved was only a cover. You were the wolf in sheep clothing that preyed on the weak, and I was the little girl that was smothered with guilt and too embarrassed to speak. Because of you, the memories still chase me in my sleep. And I'm drowning all alone in the ocean of molestation, crying out for somebody to rescue me. But I'm too far out in the deep. See, you like to play hide and seek, but in that game you made your own rules, touching my leg that led to more things, and you penetrated my innocence kitchen tools. I trusted you. And I cried that someone would see the pain in my face. You. Yes, you. You invaded my personal space. God knows I need help in this cold world by myself. Joy makes it go away. Taking time to pray. But who can I accuse for the pain of my youth? And I'm lost in the game for the things that I choose. I hate to have to choose, 'cause your help I refuse. And nobody knows what I'm going through. You see, I found out that you did this to another little girl that was the same age as me. But this time you took her life. Why was she so special that you took her life and I had to live day by day, month by month, year by year, living in this pain, in this memory? You know, Jesus said if you mislead one of his sheep, it is better to tie a stone around your neck and jump into the river. And you know what, Pastor? I want you to jump into that river for what you did to me. But you know what? That little girl that you did that to, she's over there. This is a woman standing here. And I'm not afraid of you no more. Because I know you can't do this to me anymore. I was so happy when that judge slammed down that hammer and said, "Guilty!" for what you did to me. God had me then, and God got me now. So I want to thank everyone for coming today and listening to our story, listening to our triumph. Thank you for joining us on our journey too. Thank y'all.